Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to another video. And today we're going to be making online games from scratch using cloud variables on the scratch.mit.edu website. So, first of all, not everyone's going to be able to do this. So, you're going to have the full Scratcher status or the Scratcher status in your profile. So, to do that, we're going to have to go to we're going to have to go to scratch.mit.edu, and in scratch.mit.edu, I'm going to have to go to create. And before that, again, like I said, you're going to have access to it. So to gain access to it, you're going to have the Scratch status. And for that, first of all, you need to have a Scratch account. You have to sign in with your Gmail and create an account in Scratch with the username and password. Then second thing is you're going to have to confirm your account using a link sent to you in your email that you allotted for it. So in that email there'll be a link. You click on the link and your account will be confirmed. Then you can share projects on Scratch. Once you're able to do that, you're going to have to share some projects, play others games, things like that, and eventually you will earn the Scratcher status, at which point you can make these games. So I'm just going to start with a demonstration. So in the left one, I've activated both of them. In the first one, I'm gonna click this key and I'm gonna try and move the yeah. You can see the orange cat is moving in sync with both screens. So these are two different accounts. They're not the same account, so you're gonna have to have two different accounts to test it. So now I'm gonna go to the other one and click space to activate the purple cat. But that's gonna be it for this. So now what we're gonna do is just close this tab, maximize this one, and what we're going to be doing is making this. So first of all, we're going to rename this to player 1, then flag clicked forever. We're going to put a go to. So I think that's for this. We're going to fill this go to. We don't want to go to 0 0 all the time. So now what we're going to do is make a bunch of sprites. We're going to call it X control. I'm just going to put a dot in the center. Doesn't have to be in the center. I'm just doing it just for fun. We're going to duplicate it and rename this one to Y control. So now I think we can start with the code. So first of all, we're going to create our variables. We're just going to delete this variable. Now, if you don't know, there's something called a cloud variable. Once you have the Scratch status, you can check this box and it'll become cloud variable. So the limitations for Scratch are that you can only transmit one cloud variable at a time. If that makes any sense, you can only transmit one cloud variable at a time. So per sprite at least. So you can't transmit two variables at a time like you would x and y. So this is where I've got this idea. So first we're gonna say player one x. Please note cloud variables only support numbers. We're only going to be using numbers. So we're gonna put player one y. Oops. Cloud variable. We're gonna create one called player and cloud variable it. So for now, this is going to be it. We're going to make a player 2 also, so that for those, we're going to add the variables later on. So forever, go to player 1x, player 1y. Now what we're going to do is add the code for this. When flag clicked, set player 1x to 0, set player to 0, forever, if then. And now we're going to say my player. This is not going to be a cloud variable, it's just going to be one for all sprites. I think that's it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go if then my player is equal to 1, we're going to go ahead and put another forever. set x to player 1x. Actually, you don't need this forever, so we're just going to leave it. We're just going to say if my player 1 set x to player 1x. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to go to events when space key pressed. So we're going to change this to left and right because, we wanted to move left and right because this is the X control. So if left arrow and if right arrow, we're going to change not player, we're going to change player 1 X by, I'm just going to write 3. We're just going to duplicate it and put a -3. And now this is another important part. We're going to just duplicate this and put it if my player is 1. Because then if even player 2 clicks it, it's just going to change the player 1x. We don't want that. So only if my player is 1, we want this to work. So we have another code related to the my player that we're going to just put here, but not immediately. Now, all of these scripts can basically just be duplicated. So I'm just going to delete y control, duplicate this and rename it to y control. Now in Y control, I'm going to change the things. Set player 1 Y to 0 if my player is 1. Right click player 1 Y. If my player 1, change player 1 Y. Change player 1 Y. So now if you want to try this, um, okay, so right now my player is 0, so this is now working. So we'll just add the code for that right now. Again, we're going to use the when space key pressed. I'm just going to duplicate this for now. We're going to change player by 1. If not, so we're going to say if not the cloud variable player greater than 1. Basically, if there's no player 2, until and unless there's a player 2, we're going to do this. Set my player to player. So let's just test this out. All right. So the first thing is we just, if my player is 1, change player 1 X. Right, so we're just gonna have to change this to up and down arrows so that they do the right things. Now if we, and we're gonna set my player to 0 again just at the beginning. And now if I try clicking any keys, nothing works. But when I click the space key, things are starting to happen. Now I'm just gonna check, yeah, again I've mixed them up, left, right. Now again for the 100th time I'm just gonna test if everything works as it should. It does. Now as you can see, these dots are moving around, and that's not something you want. I don't think any of us like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to set effect to 100, and we're going to change the effect to ghost. Now we're going to duplicate it and add it to the Y control. Um, didn't seem to come. That's better. So we're just going to do it once when the flag is clicked. just so that nothing else happens. Now if you can see, our player one is working perfectly normally, and yeah. So now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna duplicate the X and Y control. We're just gonna leave them as they are named X control 2 player now. This is where we get into the next variables. You already guessed it, they're just player 2x and player 2y. Player 2y. Cloud variable, check. Okay. So now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna duplicate player 1 again, and we're just gonna player 2, we're just gonna make it go to player 2x and player 2y. In the x control, we're just gonna change if my player is equal to 2. If I'm player 2, set x to player 2x, and my players 1, change player to x, change player to x. My player is 2. If 2, again, we're just gonna quickly change all of it. Player to y. We're just gonna remove the space key because we don't want it to, you know, do it 2 times. We just want to do it once. Um, as you can see, we're controlling different cats. So I'm just gonna change player two's color just so that we can notice which one is which. I'm gonna delete this, fill with color, just color purple like you saw in the video. Oops. Now if you want to, you can test it and you will get the same results that I'm getting. Just remember not to click space twice, but if you want to fix that too, we can also fix that. I'm just gonna add that code right here because I think a lot of you might want that. Yeah. If not player greater than 1, change player by 1. If then not, my player equals to 1. Now if we're just gonna go ahead and okay, I got the character. Just gonna spam click space. Nothing's working. So now you could use your second account and do it. That way, it doesn't duplicate. Now that we actually, hmm, yeah. So this is just gonna work normally. So you can test it with different things. Now, if you want to play it again, you're just gonna have to save this project. I'm just gonna rename it to test. I'm gonna share it. So now this is how it works. So as you can see, you can search, you can copy this number on the screen into your copy this link like totally. But otherwise also I'm just going to be sharing the link for this project test. I'm going to share the link in the description, so check it out if you want to test this game for yourself. And again, remember, you need to have the full scratcher status just to use this. But that's going to be it for this. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.